Denise Richards' lawyer slams her ex Aaron Phypers after he accuses her of cheating, drug use, and physical abuse. Denise Richards' lawyer is speaking out after her estranged husband Aaron Phypers accused her of cheating, drug use, and physical abuse. In a statement to People, Richards' divorce attorney Brett Berman denied the allegations and accused Phypers, 53, of abusing and harassing the 54-year-old actress. In addition to the repeated abuse perpetrated by Mr. Phypers against Ms. Richards throughout the party's marriage, Mr. Phypers has continued to harass Ms. Richards since being served with a temporary restraining order by, among other things, disseminating private information from Ms. Richards' cell phone and laptop, which he stole, the statement read. These actions continue to disturb Ms. Richards' peace. We have warned Mr. Phypers in writing not to disseminate any information from Ms. Richards' stolen cell phone and laptop, but he continues to do so, the statement continues. Ms. Richards will not be responding to Mr. Phypers' false allegations in a public forum and will be addressing Mr. Phypers' abuse in court. In a response obtained by People, Phypers refutes the claims made by Richards' lawyers. Unfortunately, it seems Denise is experiencing another one of her now infamous upside-down jacket moments, and her well-paid handlers appear determined to spin it upright, no matter the cost or collateral damage, he said, referencing an appearance Richards made in The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 13 in which she wore her jacket upside down. We genuinely hope she receives the help and support she clearly needs. As Denise herself once famously slurred in a less-than-sober moment, words that now echo with irony. Stop it. I know what you are doing. Phypers continued, nothing was stolen and nothing is missing, except, perhaps, Ms. Richards' moral compass. The statement comes after Phypers claimed in an interview with TMZ on July 19 that Richards cheated on him with another man at the beginning of the year. Phypers said that he found out about the alleged infidelity through text messages on Richards' laptop, telling TMZ he discovered selfies that Richards and the other man sent to each other, as well as messages where they exchanged phrases such as "sweet dreams," and also indicated they wanted to meet up. Phypers said he and Richards decided to stay together after he confronted her about the alleged texts. He also accused Richards of hitting him, scratching him, and smashing his phone. On July 20th, Phypers accused Richards of being addicted to Vicodin in a letter to friends and family that was obtained by Page 6 and claimed that Richards needs an intervention. For nearly a decade, she has struggled with an addiction to Vicodin, which she jokingly calls vitamin D or white chestnuts, mixed with Adderall and tequila, Phypers alleged. Some of you know this has been an issue for over 20 years. She's no longer eating real meals, and I've witnessed her pass out from substances, putting herself and others in danger, including while driving with our daughter, he continued, referring to Eloise, 14. On July 7th, Phypers filed for divorce from Richards following 6 years of marriage. He listed their date of separation as July 4th and cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for their split, according to documents obtained by People. Days after the filing, Richards accused Phypers of multiple instances of physical abuse, and she was later granted a temporary restraining order against him. Never miss a story. Sign up for People's free daily newsletter to stay up to date on the best of what People has to offer, from celebrity news to compelling human interest stories. She alleged in court documents obtained by People that her estranged husband would frequently violently choke me, violently squeeze my head with both hands, tightly squeeze my arms, violently slap me in my face and head, aggressively slam my head into the bathroom towel rack, and threaten to kill me, among other allegations. Phypers, who wed Richards in 2018, denied the allegations of physical abuse as completely false and deeply hurtful in a previous statement to People. Read the original article on People. Kidnapping survivor, once dismissed as a liar, now retrains police to help victims. Denise Huskins, who was accused of lying after surviving a home invasion and kidnapping, has now found herself teaming up with law enforcement. The California woman, whose ordeal was chronicled in the Netflix true crime docuseries American Nightmare, is now being invited to speak with officers who are looking to change the way they are trained to interrogate suspects. The 40-year-old recently spoke out in a true crime podcast by Pave Studios, Clues, which is hosted by Morgan Absher and Kaylin Moore. The weekly series aims to analyze some of the world's most infamous crimes where a single clue can crack a case wide open. Woman who admitted to kidnapping hoax undergoes polygraph in explosive new tell-all. This past year, as we've connected with more people in law enforcement, we've felt a new sense of hope, Huskins told Fox News Digital. There's still resistance. There are still people within law enforcement and out there who see us in a certain way, but now we get to see the other side of it. What's been even more encouraging is having some of those people say, "I'm so sorry." The Vallejo police initially believed the invasion and kidnapping were a hoax orchestrated by Quinn. The case was referred to by the press as the real-life Gone Girl, referring to the hit Ben Affleck thriller and novel in which a small-town wife stages her own murder to get back at her cheating husband. According to the docuseries, Quinn endured 18 hours of questioning. After months of public scrutiny, the couple sued the Vallejo Police Department. They reached a $2.5 million settlement in 2018. Fox News Digital reached out to the Vallejo Police Department for comment. Initially, advocacy started with self-advocacy, Huskins explained. We needed to fight for the truth in our case. We needed to correct the narrative and have the real truth out there. Huskins noted that after the premiere of American Nightmare, members of law enforcement began reaching out. Huskins admitted to feeling surprised, but felt it would also be the perfect time to turn personal pain into purpose. She said among those who connected with her was the chief of police in Seaside, California, who asked her to host a talk. I've been closely following the case of Denise and Aaron from the very start, Seaside Police Chief Nick Borges told Fox News Digital. Although I was not involved in the investigation, I always had faith in their truth. When Lieutenant Misty Carazzo from the Alameda County Sheriff's Office finally brought the case to light in 2015, it became clear how many errors had occurred. I felt a strong desire for my department to learn from these missteps to improve our future investigations and interactions. After watching the Netflix docuseries, I reached out to Denise and Aaron, surprised that they were willing to engage with law enforcement after everything they had faced, he shared. They agreed to share their story at a Seaside event, and hearing it firsthand was an incredibly moving experience. I have learned many lessons from them since working with them since 2024, Borges continued. The most significant lesson I took away from them is that collaborating with victims can greatly enhance our ability to solve crimes. We must listen. Thanks to their courage, their perpetrator has received 4 new life sentences, providing answers to victims who might have otherwise remained in the dark. Denise and Aaron have not only improved my understanding but have also made my department and many others in law enforcement more effective. In the end, they are the true heroes, he added. Huskins described her experience of meeting officers who wanted to improve their tactics a blessing. Before, no one in law enforcement invited us to speak, she said. Now they are. And we've met a lot of amazing people in law enforcement who've been doing tireless work for decades, trying to make changes. It's nice to finally feel we're a part of that. And we, for the last decade, wanted to work with law enforcement. We didn't see them as opposing sides. We all just needed to work together to make these changes happen. It's been incredibly validating to feel seen, heard, and respected in a way that we have never experienced before with law enforcement, Huskins shared. It has helped us regain some hope. During her talks, Huskins has been teaching investigators about science-based interviewing, which relies on evidence during interviews with victims and suspects. A lot of what science-based interviewing is doing is telling investigators to treat people with respect and decency, whether it's a suspect or a victim, said Huskins. It allows someone to open up. It allows you to connect with them, understand their background, all while having a conversation with the suspect. But also, it's about having someone else observe that conversation and try to back it up with facts and evidence, not having the primary goal be a confession. A lot of times, I think the draw is to get that confession because people know that confessions get convictions, she noted. But also, people falsely confess. It's a serious problem because not only are you ruining that person's life, but you are emboldening the perpetrator to attack again. On June 5, 2015, another couple woke in the middle of the night to a near-identical home invasion. After reaching out to police departments in the Bay Area, Misty Carazzo, then a rookie detective, learned that Mueller had been a suspect in a 2009 Palo Alto home invasion. Also at the scene were a pair of swimming goggles blacked out with duct tape that had blonde hair attached. While the wife hid in a bathroom and called police, her husband managed to fight off the attacker. But he left crucial evidence behind: zip ties, duct tape, a glove, and a cell phone. Carrozza traced the phone to Mueller's stepfather. She learned that Mueller was a Harvard-educated immigration attorney and Marine veteran. Carrozza contacted the FBI, and Mueller was arrested. Evidence in his home, including Quinn's laptop, linked him to Huskin's kidnapping. He pleaded guilty to one count of federal kidnapping in September 2016 and was sentenced to 40 years behind bars. Mueller also faced state charges for burglary, robbery, kidnapping, and 2 counts of rape. According to the documentary, Mueller was deemed incompetent to stand trial for those charges in 2020. He allegedly suffered from Gulf War illness after his military service, and his attorney claimed he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Mueller was then sentenced in 2022 to 31 years in state prison after pleading no contest to 2 counts of forcible rape of Huskins. Huskins admitted it took time for her and Quinn, now her husband, to begin trusting police again after being accused of orchestrating a hoax. For years, the sound of a police siren left her feeling terrified. "I think our whole worldview was just shattered," she reflected. "It was more victimizing, more traumatic, to be received and treated that way than the crime itself. We all know that there are bad people out there, but you grow up with the belief that if you call 911, if you go to police, they'll be helpful. And in our case, they made things worse. And what do you do if something happens? Who do you turn to for help? It's really a hopeless place," she added. Today, Quinn and Huskins hope to continue making a difference for victims. "When people message me, it's fuel," she said. "This is something we need to keep fighting for." A big piece of all of this, I think, for a lot of sexual assault survivors, but probably most victims and survivors of a violent crime, is that you lose your sense of self and identity. And then to be publicly shamed and have the world call you names. You can get lost in self-blame and self-doubt. Kidnapping hoaxer Sherry Papini insists she was tortured for weeks in first interview since disappearance. "Who I really am, the core of my being, my values, my worth. I wasn't going to let anyone dictate that," she added. Original article source: Kidnapping survivor, once dismissed as a liar. Aaron Rodgers gushes over incredible wife, but she's still a mystery. Aaron Rodgers gushes over incredible wife, but she's still a mystery. Originally appeared on Parade. Aaron Rodgers gushed over his incredible wife, whose identity still remains a mystery amongst fans. The newest member of the Pittsburgh Steelers filled Kyle Brandt in on his major relationship update during a Saturday, July 26th, interview on NFL Network's Good Morning Football. "You know, when you meet the right one, and you're with the right one, your whole world changes in a second. And to have that person that unconditionally loves you behind the scenes, there's no better feeling in the world," Aaron, 41, explained to the host. "I got the most incredible wife. I just really love her, and I'm just so thankful to have her by my side in the end." The NFL quarterback had a serious demeanor as he called his wife, Brittany, his stability and rock, which makes him feel like he can do anything. Aaron sparked marriage speculation when he was spotted wearing a wedding band at the Kentucky Derby in May. He confirmed that he was officially off the market the following month, telling reporters that he tied the knot with Brittany a couple months prior. Later that month, Aaron slammed fans for inquiring about his private romantic life. Sign up for Parade's daily newsletter to get the latest pop culture news and celebrity interviews delivered right to your inbox. "It's a sick society, isn't it? It's a sick society," he said during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show. "I lived in the public eye for 20 years. I had public relationships. How did that work out?" The professional athlete made it clear that he didn't like and didn't want any of the public attention while dating fellow celebrities, including exes Shailene Woodley and Olivia Munn. "And now I'm with somebody who's private, who doesn't want to be in the public eye," Aaron continued. "Didn't sign up to be a celebrity. Doesn't want to be a part of it. Because I do things in private because I want my personal life to be private. Now I'm weird." Aaron Rodgers gushes over incredible wife, but she's still a mystery. First appeared on Parade on July 27, 2025. This story was originally reported by Parade on July 27, 2025, where it first appeared. Aaron Rodgers gushes about incredible wife Brittany as he gives rare insight into their marriage. Aaron Rodgers is loving married life with his incredible wife Brittany. Speaking with the NFL Network at the Pittsburgh Steelers training camp on Saturday, July 26th, the quarterback, 41, offered a rare look into his private relationship. When you meet the right one, and you're with the right one, your whole world changes in a second, Rodgers said of Brittany, per Sports Illustrated. And to have that person that unconditionally loves you behind the scenes, there's no better feeling in the world, and I have the most incredible wife. Rodgers also spoke about how his wife motivates him, both in his career and in his personal life. I just really love her, and I'm so thankful to have her by my side at the end, the NFL star said. When you have that stability and that rock behind you at the house, you feel like you can do anything. Rodgers first revealed he was in a relationship with Brittany during a December 2024 episode of The Pat McAfee Show. At the time, host Pat McAfee and other guests on the show appeared to poke fun at Rodgers for being in love, to which a grinning Rodgers replied, "It's a good feeling, boys." It is. The newest Pittsburgh Steeler then revealed in June that he secretly wed Brittany, and the ceremony was a couple months prior. The confirmation came a month after Rodgers was spotted wearing what appeared to be a wedding band at a Kentucky Derby event in May. During a later appearance on the Pat McAfee Show, Rodgers slammed the entitlement to information about his personal life and said his wife is a private person who doesn't want to be in the public eye. "It's a sick society, isn't it?" Rodgers said. Never miss a story. Sign up for People's free daily newsletter to stay up to date on the best of what People has to offer, from celebrity news to compelling human interest stories. The athlete then criticized how his relationships have played out in the public in the past, including people calling the paparazzi and stalking me on the beach during his off-season. "I had people leaking my home information," said Rodgers. "I didn't want any of that, didn't like any of that, and now I'm with somebody who's private." Rodgers added that Brittany doesn't want to be in the public eye and didn't sign up to be a celebrity. He said she also doesn't have social media, and the public will only see photos of her when and if she chooses to share them. Read the original article on Post.